Last and certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure of working with both Representative Christina Rogner as well as Representative Joe Eaker on our late-term abortion ban. Recently in the United States, we were horrified to learn of a late-term abortionist in Pennsylvania and what he was doing. I know the mainstream media tried to quickly turn the page and not talk about it anymore, but the scars are still there. I mean, here's this abortionist, which I refuse to call a doctor, delivering live babies and killing them with a pair of scissors and cutting their spinal cord. But a lot of people don't realize in the state of Ohio, a woman can legally have an abortion up to and through her 9th month of pregnancy in Ohio. Repeat that, up to and through her 9th month of pregnancy, a woman can have an abortion in Ohio. In 2009, according to the Ohio Department of Health, and we brought 3 copies of the 2007, 2008, and 2009 report, which are all right here. In 2009, a woman had an abortion at 35 weeks, and you'll find nowhere in any of these reports where a woman had an abortion due to a health concern in the past 3 years. And we're going to have Denise McCurra with Democrats for Life speak on this as well in a little bit. It's one of the most important bills that we've put forth in quite a long time because it's going to save lives immediately. Children's Hospital here, Nationwide Children's Hospital, and children's hospitals across the state of Ohio are full of babies in their NICU born in 20 weeks or later. We need to stop this practice. It's 2011. We live in a society here where we value life. We need to value all life. And at this time, I have the honor of asking both Christina Rogner as well as Representative Joe Eaker to come to the podium.
Thank you, Michael. We've introduced House Bill 78, the Ohio Viable Infants Protection Act. It's a bill that will prohibit abortions after viability of the child is confirmed. Currently, abortions are permitted, as Mike said, right up to the moment of birth. Under the Ohio Viable Infants Protection Act, when the mother wants an abortion and the child is 20 weeks of gestation or older, the doctor must test the child to see if he or she is viable. Viability can be explained as when a child can live outside the womb, which happens around 22 weeks. If the doctor confirms that the child is viable, the abortion cannot be performed except in the case of certain medical emergencies or if a woman has a serious physical health condition, and this must also be performed where there is a neonatal facility. If the abortion is performed for one of these reasons, the doctor must use the method that is most likely to permit the child to survive. Also, an additional doctor must be present to care for the child upon birth. This bill also requires a subjective standard for determining viability testing in order to comply with recent Supreme Court rulings of constitutionality. The bill also creates reporting requirements of the physician who performs the abortion in accordance with rules adopted by the Department of Health to certify that requirements contained in the bill were met. I want to express my extreme gratitude to Mike Adakakis and Stephanie Kreider of Ohio Right to Life, as well as Denise McCurra, who really did the yeoman's work on creating this bill and doing the background and the research. And I want to especially thank, as my colleague Representative Bubb did, thanking all the co-sponsors that we have on the bill, especially those who were able to be here today. Christina? That couldn't be good.
Thank you. So many bills that come through the House you can measure in economic impact, you can measure in dollars. This bill is different. We're going to measure this one in lives. And the statistics that Mike was mentioning earlier are here, but let me just give you some of the highlights. For babies that were 20 weeks of gestation or older in 2006 in Ohio, that's 694 babies were aborted. In 2007, it was 690. In 2008, 603. And in 2009, it's 613 babies lost their lives. So just in the last 4 years, there were over 2,600 babies were aborted. Their lives prematurely ended. We talk about caring for or protecting the innocent and taking care of the vulnerable. I would put forth that these babies are truly the most innocent and extremely, obviously, vulnerable. These babies do deserve a chance to live, a chance for a future. Here in Ohio, about 15 years ago, it was January, a woman went into premature labor. She was just over 23 weeks along and she was hospitalized. The doctors gave her medication to slow the labor down. But that little baby had a mind of his own, and he decided to come. He was born in 25 weeks. He was very little, very fragile. He was only about a pound and a half. He was given excellent care in the hospitals. His parents loved him, and he was absolutely blanketed in prayer. Here's a picture of him with his mom. You see how little he is, but yet a perfect baby, and truly alive. And his name was Nathaniel Kirk Glaze, and I'd like to call Nathaniel up here to the podium to join me now. Babies like Nathaniel's now 15 years old. And I don't know what they're feeding him, but he's taller than I am. And I'm still wearing heels. He's 6'3", and he's in the Boy Scouts. He's in the 9th grade. He's homeschooled. His mother is right there in the audience, Ann. That's Ann. But Nathaniel, he gives glory to God. He honors his parents, and there are just babies. And the point is, he was a baby. When he was this young, 20-some weeks in his mother's womb, delivered early, he was alive. He was a baby. And we have an opportunity now to protect these children. And I am absolutely just honored to join Representative Eaker and my other colleagues co-sponsoring this bill to put this bill forward. I want to thank Right to Life and thank you all for coming.
One more additional thanks that I want to make sure that is not forgotten is this bill really came to the General Assembly, or attempted to come to the General Assembly about 2.5 years ago. And I would be very remiss if we didn't thank posthumously Mark Lally, the Right to Life attorney, who also did a tremendous amount of working with this bill. I've worked with Mark for a number of years on this legislation and others. Tonight, or every night when you say your prayers, please keep Mark in your prayers. Mark passed away late last year before he was able to see the fruits of his efforts come to fruition, and I'm very thankful for Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. At this time, I'd like to ask Denise McCurra with Democrats for Life to come to the podium and offer a few words.
Thanks, Mike. We're very happy to join with Ohio Right to Life today in support of Representative Eaker and Representative Wagner's measure. We have been interested in this issue for a very long time, and we're very proud of the fact that it's not a Republican issue, it's not a Democratic issue, it's a human issue. And in order to prove that, because we didn't know if anybody would believe us when we said that, I'm here today to reveal the results of a poll that we took a year ago that established an amazing thing in Ohio, an amazing level of bipartisanship. There are 77% of Ohioans that support banning late-term abortion. 77%, that's huge. Not only is it a matter of justice for the child, it's a matter of helping the woman, not hurting her through abortion, but that's pretty amazing. And the more amazing fact is that the same amount of Democrats and Republicans, 65% of both, support banning late-term abortion. So that's huge for this state. That's huge for all of us, and mostly it's huge for the babies. Now, one other fact I wanted to point out, and I do have copies of the report and the fact sheets up here for anyone who's interested, but one of the things I thought was most interesting and intriguing about the report is the fact that 82% of women in this state, and these were registered voters in the state of Ohio, 82% of women support the ban compared to 72% of men. Now, what's going on with that? So I think it's a wonderful thing for us to be doing to protect these children. To counter anything that you may have heard in the past, there is no woman in Ohio that gets an abortion for serious medical reasons. And we have the verification from the Department of Health that any of the late-term abortions, post-viability abortions, there were 0 that were done for serious physical health reasons. Now, there are those, unfortunately, that sometimes report to the media that don't have a respect for the truth. But I'm telling you right now that there is not a concern about women not being able to get abortions for serious medical health reasons, because none of them do. These abortions oftentimes are because a supposed loved one forcing you into a bad situation. They are not those people needed for serious physical health reasons. So I wanted to make sure, I think I said it 3 times now, so I guess I bored you enough with that. But basically, I'm here in support of this. We will work as hard as we can to support this bill in any way we can, and we're very grateful to Representative Regner, Representative Eaker, and all of the other co-sponsors of the bill. Thank you.
There's another late-term abortion bill that's been introduced. Why are you supporting this one over that one, or are you supporting both?
House Bill 7, Representative Fendy's bill, we are supporting Representative Eaker and Roedner's bill because it's going to save more lives. And this bill, the bill we're supporting, is at 20 weeks, whereas Representative Fendy's is at 22 weeks. Approximately 125, 150 additional babies a year can be saved.
And it's the importance of what you're seeing here today with these House members. I mean, we did the judicial bypass bill last year. Mark Valley, in fact, who I miss, and I appreciate the comments because he was a wonderful man, dedicated to life, and asked us to do it. We got it with the help of Senator Gilmore and the leadership. We got it out of the Senate, and it never saw the light of day. And for all of you in the who believe in the sanctity of life, Ohio right to life, Democrats for Life, all of you who helped bring these gentlemen, a majority in the House that believes in life and is willing to stand up for life, with a Speaker of the House who understands and respects life. Gentlemen like Lynn Slavy and Ron Young, Judge Slavy, I used to appear in front of. Ron was in the House with me. You are going to reap the rewards of bringing pro-life folks into the Ohio House as a majority, a Speaker who is pro-life, and you will see that quickly when you see what happens with House Bill 63 and the Senate bill equivalent, which I believe is Senate Bill 18, because I think we're going to get it out to the House very quickly. And this time, there will be a House that will stand up for life on this and these other issues. And I just want to thank those who gave us this House majority and this new House leadership, because we're going to reap the rewards in the next 2 years for that wise decision.
I think that's a great way to great way to end the press conference unless there's any other questions. Senator, your voice might be strained, but the words were perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.